Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Cafe Chronicles. I'm Dan, and on this episode of the KZ750, we're going to pick up from where we left off last week. We have this lovely speedometer, tachometer thingy that we're trying to wire up. We got the turn signals done, we got the headlight done, we got the neutral switch done. Now we just need to figure out the speed of the bike, the speed of the engine, and finish up all the other odds and sods that we need to get this thing safe eating on the road. So let's get stuck in.
Okay, so we think we have speed on our speedometer at this stage. We don't have glue, so we'll glue that in before the safety and when we go to calibrate those little magnets. So you notice Dan placed them on the brake disc there. So what we'll have to do is, use a nice strong glue on them to keep them in place. We got to make sure that they're, I believe, separated evenly on the disc, and that they don't get caught up in the caliper and stuff like that when it turns, and that it's not in the braking zone of the disc either, so that it doesn't get wiped off every time we pull the brakes. But that's another little step closer on the speedometer.
Okay, so we have our speedometer hooked up, we have our tachometer hooked up, we wired that into one of the wire inputs to the coils. So some of the instructions will say to wrap the wire around one of the spark plug wires, and through the induction of the spark, it sounds insane to me. I've seen some things talk about hooking it up to a stator wire, which would be a whole other disaster as well. But we were able to attach the wire to one of the coil power wires, and every time it pulses, we get a strong signal. So that's all wired up. Last thing we need to do now, this tack will have no memory. if it doesn't have a constant power supply, which is going to be super awkward every time we unplug the battery, but we'll cross that bridge later. So luckily for us, there's an ignition switch all the way up at the top that controls power to the rest of the bike. So there's going to be one wire. For us, it's white and black. For us, it's white and black, but there's one wire all the way up here that already has constant power, so we don't need to be fishing wires all the way back to the battery or anything else. That's just one last wire that we need into our gauge set, and then we just need to mount it. This piece of crap here, this geared end will attach to the camshaft, and so as the cam spins, it'll drive this gear, which drives this output. That's what the tach cable will attach to. It threads here, goes all the way up to the tach drive, so as this spins the cable, spins the tach drive, and there's whatever gears and mechanisms inside that'll tell you how fast it's moving. Now, there's an O-ring out here that looks in really, really good condition. This O-ring isn't our problem. There's actually an oil seal inside this shaft that tries to keep the oil out as it's spinning. The issue we were having is the oil was leaking past the seal on the inside, coming outside here, coming up the cable a little bit, and then leaking past these threads. If you had the leak that we had, you could, in theory, as long as it wasn't this O-ring, you could just put some Teflon tape over these threads, and when you put your cable sheath back on, you'll have a self-lubricating tach cable, but it would stop your oil leak. But we are changing our whole setup, so we're just gonna put a block off plug there, no more oil leaks, and no more wonky tach drive. All right, folks, so I have all this taped up so you don't see a whole bunch of colorful, stupid wires. Now, we still have this hanging out because this is going to be the circuit for our oil light. We're missing the oil light on this gauge set, so we're gonna have to come up with another solution. So we'll tuck this out of the way a little bit better once that's sorted. But all of our wiring here now, which I hope we still don't need access to that one constant power because we haven't wired that up yet. Everything is done, everything's tucked out of the way, knock on wood.
Show the crew where we put the tack pickup.
So the instructions want you to wrap it around one of these spark plug wires so that when the high voltage jolts through here, the wire picks it up as a signal and uses that. But the problem is it's very unreliable. So what we were able to do is, you can see the little bit of tape over here, we actually wired it into the ignition coil. So when the signal to ignite runs through the coil, that is a very strong, clear signal for the gauge to pick up that an ignition event is happening, and it gave us a nice stable voltage. If you want to test on your bike to see if that will work for you, we were able to back the connector up a little bit so we could just touch the wire to the connector to see if it would pick it up before we went into open heart surgery on that wire, cutting insulation and things like that. Worked in our case. Your mileage may vary.
All right, so that's it. We've got our new gauge installed. Amazon, cheapy, but does the trick. One thing that we're gonna have to do is the oil pressure light. For some reason, there's not one on this gauge, so we're gonna pop in a little LED light, and we left a little wire exposed there so we can pop it into it. But hopefully you guys have liked sort of going through the process, seeing how we got the RPMs up there, seeing how we put the little proximity sensors on the front wheel and stuff like that, as well as the blanking plate, because I know few folks have reached out that are actually building KZ750s. So all that stuff you can find in the link in the description, and it'll show you where we got it all and what the prices are.
So once you get stuck into the wiring, it's kind of self-explanatory when you get the two sheets lined up of what the KZ750 wiring is, what the gauge wiring is. Now, the gauge itself has a plug, so if anything does happen to the gauge, you don't need to rewire everything. You just unplug the gauge, plug the new one in. Something that you may want to consider if you think that you're going to try out different gauges in the future is, as you cut off everything from the KZ750, you can get universal male-female harness plugs that you can then wire into, so you have a quick disconnect, and then you have sacrificial wiring on the other side of the plug that you can then modify for different gauges as things come and go.
But all in all, it's after cleaning up the look of the bike up front really, really nicely. Dan has it offset to the left as you're looking forward. I really like that style. I think it's really cool. We'll do another episode for you guys where we actually calibrate the speed sensor on there and get that kind of motoring, so watch out for that one. Also, something important is that Dan has booked the safety. So this is the safety inspection in Canada. So this means at that point, once Dan has his safety inspection in hand, you can go get a plate, you can get insurance, and he can ride this sucker. So we're really excited about that. We still haven't done anything with the side covers. Let us know your thoughts on that. We're interested to find out if anybody has any ideas. We're thinking perf plate and shape it, you know, and maybe color it black, you know, or something like that, or maybe expanded metal, you know, maybe lacquered, I don't know, like with a clean metal look. Let us know what you think. Also, don't forget you can support the show by picking up a nice t-shirt, either a Mikuni Carb or an R100 boxer engine, and we've got some more t-shirt designs on the way too. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for sticking with us, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.